Hello, today we're taking a look at Flexispy. Flexispy is an application that allows you to spy on mobile phones, cell phones, or tablets easily. You can monitor software as far as instant messaging, phone call logs, emails, all those sorts of things very easily, all through Flexispy. And for more information on this product, if you want to buy it, you can check out the links down below in the video description. So here we are on the site, and as you can see here, you can use this in a ton of different cases. Whether you're trying to monitor spouses, a husband or wife that you maybe think is stepping out on you and cheating, you can actually monitor their devices via this software. You can protect your children who, let's say you're handing them, an older device, whether it's an Android device or an iOS device, and you want to make sure that, their friends are, who they're contacting are safe and that they're safe at all times. Additionally, you can also monitor employees. So if you're handing out devices to people that you work with and you want to make sure that they're using it professionally, all of that can be monitored via Flexispy. And it has a ton of features here from messaging, call interception, SMS tracker, and more. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about the installation process. So for iOS, keep in mind you need to have your device jailbroken that you're going to go ahead and monitor in this case, and you need physical access to the device. So once you're setting up your account here, you need to go ahead and go through the installation wizard and your portal login, and then go ahead and run through the little steps here. So for example, it's going to ask you what device do you want to install it on, in this case the iPhone or iPad. You can see it also supports other devices like BlackBerry or Symbian. And then it's going to say here if your device is already jailbroken or not. We're going to go ahead and continue the steps. And then it's going to walk you through this 17-step process that essentially just walks you through going into Cydia, which is the essentially the jailbreak app store. And then it's going to tell you how to go ahead and install their package. So I'm going to go ahead and install that on my device right now. And then we're going to go ahead and confirm the installation and look at the actual settings app here. All right, so once the activation process has been complete, you're going to have the System Core app here, which allows you to view the settings for Flexispy, so you can deactivate it, uninstall the app. You can even configure the app here to hide the application and Cydia. That way the user who you may be wanting to monitor in this case, it's completely anonymous. They don't know that it's installed at all on their device. From here, you can view other things like diagnostics and settings, and you can, again, hide this app completely. That way only you know that the application is monitoring their phone and device, and then from there on, they would use the device as normal, and it would send all data over to your dashboard. So with that, let's go ahead and flip over to the dashboard. So here we are at the dashboard, and at this point, you want to give the device a second to send essentially all the data through Flexispy. It's going to go ahead and gather things like call logs, SMS, recent photos, the recent GPS location. So give it a couple minutes after activating and setting it up to go ahead and send across all this data. On the left here, you're going to be able to view things like password logs, call logs, even messages. So if it finds any records, all of these will show up here. Additionally, you'll be able to see contacts, apps, website logs as far as activity and bookmarks, calendar, and you'll also have the ability to run some things like Control Center. Control Center allows you to essentially remotely access the device and run certain commands. So you can do things like unactivate the device remotely, so you don't need physical access to, or I should say deactivate the device. And it makes it really easy to remotely essentially run any commands without, again, needing to physically get back the iPhone or the Android device, whatever it may be. You can send commands from there. You can also activate remote camera installation and things of that nature. That way you can monitor things like the rear-facing or front-facing camera. You have location controls, again, the photo controls, SMS controls, further device controls as far as uninstalling the application completely from the target device. And again, going back to the remote device controls, you can restart the device, get the battery level so you can see all the status on the current device and more. So this is just a quick overview of the dashboard. We're going to go ahead and let the data all sink in to Flexispy. That way we can showcase again what it looks like a little bit more. So here we are at the dashboard, and once Flexispy has gone ahead and started to sync over some data, you can see here in the dashboard it'll give you some updates, so the latest calls, latest SMSs, and of course you can singly filter through everything on the left here. It takes a second to go ahead and sync some data over, so keep that in mind. So for example, if you are just installing this on a remote device, it's going to take some time to go ahead and get the GPS location photos, because you got to keep in mind whether they're on 3G, 4G cellular network or Wi-Fi, it's going to try to constantly beam up the data every couple minutes at intervals to get you everything that's being synced in. So for example, just to showcase how great this Flexispy monitoring app works, I'm on my iPhone here and I'm going to go ahead and dial a number. So let's say I was trying to monitor somebody's call logs, for example. I'm going to go ahead and place this call right here, and then I'm just going to hang it up here. So we'll call it again and then hang up. So that's just a zero duration call. I can, again, let me just go ahead and let it place here again and hang up. So those are zero duration calls. Essentially, I'm calling and hanging up, and that will also be logged. No matter if the call is, 2 seconds, a minute, whatever, anything that gets inputted here will be logged. And I'm just going to showcase how quickly that's going to sync over here on Flexispy, and I'm going to be able to see that within the call log. So here we are in Flexispy, and as you can see here within the call logs on the left here, you can see that we have the ability to go ahead and see the most recent calls. You can even filter it by today, last 7 days, so on and so forth. And then on the very top results here, you can see the calls just placed today alone. There's 157 calls in the duration, even though they're for a second or even 0 seconds for that matter. It's logged multiple calls from that 157 number. And it showcases, again, the phone number, the contact name. So if you have a contact name, it'll actually show up there, and the date and time. So you can see a timestamp, essentially, if you're monitoring somebody else, to see how long they were on a call and the number that was placed, and, again, the specific date and time. And keep in mind, you can manage everything from the actual web portal here. You can delete certain things here. You can favorite things if you need to flag them and keep them for future reference. All that said, we hope you enjoyed this coverage of Flexispy and showcasing just how quickly and easily it is to monitor with Flexispy. Things like call logs, photos, and everything of that nature, easily and all available remotely via the web portal for you as the person who may be monitoring the said device. For all information, check out the link in the description down below if you want to download it or check out more. And that said, thanks for watching.